Well, today I'm going to show everyone some very simple turret designs, and they can fire anything you want. Yes, anything. So the first one can only fire arrows and fireballs. Very simple, survival friendly. I'm pretty sure most of you know how to do this. You just, place down a pressure plate, you just connect it to a dispenser, not a dropper, but a dispenser, and you step on the pressure plate and it activates. Simple stuff. You can do that in survival. The rest now is going to be command block, and we're going to get more advanced as we go. Ignore the bad builds, but here we go. This next design is also pretty simple. Just summons an arrow above me whenever I stand on the gold pressure plate. So how did I actually do this? Well, I'm using a summon command using a command block. If you don't know how to get a command block, and then you just go give @p command block and you get one. You can only do this if you are in creative mode and you have cheats enabled. So let's go in. Basically, I am summoning an arrow. And then these three things here, these are coordinates, so these are relative to the x-axis. I'm basically saying 10 blocks in above the positive y direction, so that's saying 10 blocks above this command block here, and then z direction, none here. So if I actually make this, I don't know, a 5, then you'll see that the arrow actually gets summoned over here instead. If I make this a 0 again, or nothing, then it gets summoned directly above me, again, like you would expect, like so. Now, if you set this to always active, then basically it will summon once, and then after that you won't be able to activate it anymore. So just make sure that that's set to needs redstone, and don't worry, more advanced users, we're going to get to some better turrets later on. This next one here, if I stand on the pressure plate, it actually shoots the arrow from over here. This isn't using any redstone, this is using command blocks yet again. So if I stand here, you can see that this arrow actually has a bit of motion. So I have basically decided on the exact coordinates of where I want the arrow to be summoned. So I wanted it summoned out of here. So basically what I did was I typed in summon arrow, tab, and it automatically fills in the numbers here. So if I go back here and make this, I don't know, a 16, then you'll see the arrow gets summoned way higher up. So what's this motion tag here, you're asking? Well, this is just telling you what direction the arrow will move when it gets summoned. So I'm basically saying go a little bit in the positive x direction, go a little bit in the positive y direction, and none in the positive z direction. So if I actually make this something like a 5 here, then you'll see the arrow actually goes this way a little bit. If I make this 0, then you'll see it goes exactly that way. And if I just make this number here really huge, like 2.55, then it gets summoned really high up. So that's the motion tag for you. It's pretty useful. This next one actually doesn't require any pressure plates or redstone, and it actually detects when you are nearby. Let's go. Ow. Okay, so yeah, when I go near it, it starts shooting arrows at me. Always going to be in one spot, but don't worry, we're going to get onto some tracking turrets later on. Now, I know a lot of the more advanced command users are going to absolutely hate me for using this method, but it's good for beginners, just getting used to stuff. So basically what I'm doing is I have an always active repeating command block. How did I actually get that? So I just give myself a command block, and I'm setting it to always active repeating. So if I put in a command like, I don't know, say hi, it's going to be constantly active. A cool thing about comparators is when something is successful, they turn on. Alright, so basically I'm saying test for any player, so at all, targets all players, within a radius of 10 if they're in adventure mode. So M for mode, so just so we're all on the same page. This is survival mode, creative mode, adventure mode, spectator mode. We're going to set it back to adventure just for now. And basically what happens is when I go into adventure mode, it triggers this comparator clock here. Very simple, you can just copy what I've done here. And it's basically triggering this command block here, which needs redstone and is impulse, which means it only activates once. And basically I'm just summoning an arrow at that position here. So again, this is absolutely awful if you're a little bit better at commands, but if you're just starting out, then start with this design and work your way up to the more complex ones. It's time for rapid fire. Okay, again, same spot, but we're going to change that soon. Actually, for those of you who don't know this trick yet, if you put lava in front of your arrow trap thingy, like so, hopefully that doesn't spread out, then when you go towards it, the arrows will come out flaming, and it's pretty cool. So that's just a very simple way to make flaming arrows. Obviously there are better ways of doing this, but again, this tutorial is for beginners. So we're looking back here, and oh, this is a new kind of command block which we haven't discussed yet, except like for every other video I've made on this channel. So we have another always active repeating command block, basically doing a testfor again. Now this summon arrow command is only going to activate if this is working. That's what the conditional tag does. If I turn this off, then it's always going to active, even though I'm in creative mode. But if I put this onto conditional mode, then it's only going to activate if the previous command worked, like so. So that's a cool thing to do, and yeah, motion tag again, we've talked about all this. Again, this one is an area effect, however, when I go near it, you can see it's delayed, like the ones that we had over there. Obviously you can use redstone for this, but check this out, it's all done with nothing but command blocks. So I am actually using scoreboards to make this happen, so if I just display the timer that I made here, you'll see that every time this timer goes to 20, then it will activate, like so. So how did I actually do this? Well, first we actually have to create the score, so that's what this does. This is just a command that you can just run once in the world. In fact, if I removed this, then you will see that this will still work because the objective still exists in the world. So basically, I'm doing another testfor, and if that happens, then we're adding a fake player score, arrowTimer 1. So that's just going to increment it every time this repeating command block is working. And then we are going to test if that score is at least 20. If it is, then set it back to 0. And if it actually sets it back to 0, then that will summon an arrow. So if you want a more detailed explanation of how scoreboards and scoreboard timers work, click on the card in the top right and let's move on. This is a turret, which is quite obviously just an invisible skeleton with a dispenser and a bow on its head, but it tracks where you are, and obviously it's very customizable. You can set how far away you want it to fire, and you can set if you want to actually kill it or not. I actually can't kill this. So how did I generate this so simply, just for everyone who's new to the summon command, because this command in here is absolutely massive. So how did I make it when I was back in my beginner days? Well, I will show you a cool website which generates summon commands for you. It's this cool website here called MCStacker, and it basically generates really complex commands for you. So what I'm going to do is we are going to summon in a skeleton. I'm going to make it persistent so it doesn't despawn on us. Also going to make it silent and invulnerable because we don't want the player to kill it. And the last thing I'm going to do is make it invisible, so we'll just make it invisible for a very long time. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make it hold a bow. Now skeletons do burn in the daylight, so there are two solutions that you can use here. Firstly, you can give it fire resistance, or you can put something on its head just to make it look nicer. I'm just going to put a dispenser on its head like so. And then I believe, what else can we do? Oh yeah, we want it to give no movement speed, because otherwise if we allow it to move around, then that won't really behave like a real turret. So we just put this in here, and then we just activate the command like so. You can actually remove this and the skeleton will stick around, and there we go. You'll see that since we gave it no movement speed, that the skeleton actually cannot move from that position now. This next one is a very similar concept, but executed in a very different way. The first thing that you might note is that this guy can see me much further away than usual. The next thing is that the arrows are actually poisonous, and the other thing is I can actually take down this turret, and when I do take it down, unlike normal skeletons, it does not drop bones or arrows or anything like that. This one did, because I forgot a step, but I'll show you anyway. Oh, what a surprise! We are back here. This skeleton here, we don't want it to be invulnerable. I'm just going to give it a health of 20 here, but it's up to you how much you want, and a knockback resistance of 100%, so when you hit it, it doesn't actually get knocked off the edge. Now, to stop it from actually dropping things, we actually have to remove its death loot table. I'm just going to put a dash here, you can put in whatever the heck you want. The other thing I'm going to do is stop these items here from dropping when you kill them. So at the moment they have an 8.5% chance of dropping. I'm just going to make it so they cannot drop at all. So this stops it from being dropped even if you use the looting enchantment on it. And I think that is everything we need. So without further ado, I will copy this into this command here. Oh yeah, that's right. The other thing that we can actually change here is the follow range. So we're going to make it so this skeleton can actually see you from 40 blocks away, which is a pretty massive distance, even further away than what a skeleton can shoot, but it can allow for some pretty unique combat encounters. So let's press the button here, and as you can see, we have a skeleton that can shoot far away. And the other thing we can do here, you can kill this guy however you want. If it's invulnerable, you can still kill it in creative mode, doesn't matter. We're going to make it shoot arrows that give you potion effects. So in the offhand, we're going to give it a tipped arrow, which cannot be dropped again. And we're going to make it give, I don't know, let's make it give blindness to the player for 10 seconds. That sounds cool. And so I will copy that into the command yet again. And now you can see it's actually got an arrow in its hand, and we can use custom models to make this completely invisible or change the way it looks as well. I'll link to Samosaurus6, who will do a tutorial on that, and I'll show an example of that at the end of this video as well. But as you can see, blindness arrows, pretty deadly, pretty cool. Yeah, you can you can die now. Okay, these next ones are really cool. We are going to make some flaming turrets. So let's just make a really simple one using the blaze mob, of course. We're going to make it persistent and silent, and we are also going to make it so you cannot kill this one. And of course we need to make it invisible, so there's our invisibility here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Cool. And I believe that's all we really need to do for the blaze. We don't really have to do much else, seeing as though it's going to be invulnerable. Now, it's going to fly around everywhere. Even if we remove the movement speed, it's still going to fly around. We don't really want that, so instead we are just going to make it ride an armor stand that's invulnerable, a marker armor stand so it just doesn't get in the way of the projectiles, and we're also going to make it invisible with no gravity as well. So basically, there's going to be a blaze riding an armor stand like so. When we actually paste this into a command block like so, and then turn it on, you'll see the blaze particles will start to appear, and then the blaze will shoot me as usual. So let's see that happen. And it's a turret, so it's still, and there we go. So a pretty cool design that we have here, and it's very versatile. I'm going to press Control and my pick block button, and I'm going to put this over here, but instead of a blaze, I'm actually going to change this to the word ghast. You can see where I'm going with this. So this one is going to have explosive projectiles. So when I go into spectator mode here, you can actually see the mobs themselves, but in survival mode or adventure mode, you won't see them. So, can I see some ghast action, please? Ghasts are quite fussy with their shooting requirements, but there we go. We have explosive turrets. It's pretty high up, so you might want to just make your building a little bit higher than usual, but there we go. There's ghast turrets. Now, if you ever want to remove them, you can actually kill invulnerable mobs in creative mode. It will leave behind the armor stand though, and you can't actually remove that normally. So we have to go kill @e type equals armor underscore stand, c equals 1, and then it will remove the armor stand, just the nearest one. So we can do the same thing here. We'll kill the blaze before we do anything else. And then we will remove the armor stand here. And the last one I want to show you, same thing, we have this command again. I'm going to change the blaze to a guardian, like so. And so when I go into game mode 0, eventually you'll see something cool happen. Oh, we actually have to activate it first. That's funny, I can't believe I forgot that. So this is a laser beam, which is pretty awesome. Having lots of these around can make for some great puzzle setups and combat encounters. I love the look of the Guardian beam, and yeah, they're just awesome. No, I was not clickbaiting. The thumbnail is actually relevant here. We have a turret model here, which looks probably better than all of what we've done so far, and doesn't that look awesome? So yeah, I've just basically put a unbreakable iron hoe with a damage of 25 on the head slot of the armor stand and just adjusted the model to make it look good. Now this particular turret faces one way, so if I go behind it, it won't be able to shoot me. The way I did that is by using barrier blocks here. And I guess if I really wanted to, I could make this a ghast or blaze turret if I just modified the look of the model and obviously make this a blaze instead of a guardian here. But I'm very happy with the way this turned out. Oh, you want to know how to make custom models? Well, a YouTuber called Samosaurus6 has a modeling series on his channel, and he taught me everything I know about modeling. So I would recommend his channel. I'm not going to make my own purely because he has done so already. So go over to his channel if you want to know how to make cool stuff like this. But for now, thank you all very much for watching. See you in the next one.